Here we go. Okay, test. Okay. Okay, I'm not completely sure I will be able to manage the chat and the streaming, as it's my first time streaming, but we're going to give it a try. Then wait a second. Here you go. Okay, at least here I also have a chat seeing what you're saying. There is a 6 seconds delay. Here we go. Announcement. Oh, I make an announcement. Oh, just a second. I send the invitation on Discord and then we get started. Okay. Log on the Steam page bit.ly Steam with a testing stream. Wow, I'm using everyone for this. Like, people will kill me, but okay. Of course I messed up. Okay, because HTTP. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's get started. What I need to do today, I want to actually play the sandbox mode. First of all, I'm Dr. Hogan, and I'm the designer behind Empires and Ruins. The game is really close to release now. Like, we are 14 days away from release. It's an early access release, but the game is quite complete. And what we're doing now is preparing the copies for YouTubers and streamers that will go out in the next few days. And that means that I need to play the whole campaign and make sure that it more or less works. We tried and over, but every time you make a small change, it's much better if you replay the whole campaign. It's going to take a while. I'm not playing the whole campaign now online because it would take too long. I will probably save and exit at some point, but that's what I'm going to show. So let's just start it. Let me just do one small thing. Let me also move the Steam here. Okay, I don't have my mobile, but I think we can live without mobile for a while. And here you go. So, campaign. We play an average because, first of all, as average as we are, but because I don't want to live with the stress of fighting each battle in a hard mode because it's quite hard. I can beat them, but it's quite hard. So I prefer to test if there is progress and if there are bugs or anything. Then I will stay silent and I will.
Do you like that old knight save the world, win the love of a beautiful woman? Well, if that's what you're looking for, then piss off back to your mummy, cause this story ain't one of them. For starters, I'm 18 assault charges short of being a noble knight. And for some reason, my sparkling personality attracts women like shit on a stick. And now I find myself leading an army of incompetent knuckleheads to the Western Marches. The foulest cesspit in this cursed nation, but at least it keeps us away from the Crovan scum. Ah, the Western Marches. Can you smell that? That's the stench of poverty and corruption. The rich tossers, von this and von that, tax the hell out of dregs who have little more than the shirts on their back. And then they rebel. Oh, what a bloody surprise. Guess who has to clean up the mess? Yeah, I probably wouldn't be here if I hadn't thumped the spit out of Baron von Kilmert's son. But his sneering face was just begging for it. So I guess I'll have to get this bollocks done before I can get back to my armchair and a decent brandy. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get moving. My balls have disappeared into my body. My name is Hans Heimer, First Sergeant in the Koth Army, and there are shit times ahead.
As you can imagine, I know this introduction by heart, every single note and every single word. I will not be reading now everything that it's in the dialogues, like, because that's not the point of my test in the game. I will show some that I think that are the funniest one probably, but that's about it, because otherwise it takes forever just to do that, and I'm really bad at making special voices, so like it's pointless that I do it. But I wanted to test the sandbox, shouldn't have the dialogues in just to do the testing, but it's pointless because sandbox has been tested thousands of times and it works really well. It's the campaign that is the last production, so it's the campaign that needs to be tested. I also made a small change thanks to the feedback of a user of the demo to the conversations, and now there is a smaller variation in size when each one of the speakers is speaking. This is Reverend Axe. Axe, are you still there? Here I'm picking. I usually go for empathy. This is not like a brutal modifier in the beginning, but it gives a bit of an advantage to one of the statistics that you might choose. And we don't take the tutorial because I hate the tutorial, because I took that tutorial, I don't know, like thousands of times. Skip tutorial. Sir, it's our funeral. Okay. Okay, I will speed up a bit through the conversation because I want to do some fighting. It's really weird to have this like 6-7 seconds delay between what I say and what I see that it's happening on the Steam page, but I guess one has to get used to it probably. I want to see a second. Okay. Can you hear me and can you hear the music at the same time? I tried to record something and to figure out if I was doing it right, but I have no idea if on stream it's the same quality. This is the first map. The first map, it's okay, it's obviously quite easy, but let's play it pretending that it's not easy. Okay, cool, thanks. Is this the first time that you hear my voice? Yeah, we never spoke live. And it's pretty funny because English is not our native language, of course, but I think the sound effects are a bit too loud now. Okay. Did they found a bug? No, okay, no I didn't. Okay, let's start the fight. This map, as I said, like it's very easy. Like this is a map that even in like I expect everyone to win this map even by messing up what they should be doing. But I found in the analytics that some people managed to get defeated by the map. So I guess like as a developer, I probably consider the game like easier than it really is. But I mean, statistically, most of the people managed to beat it. Olaf is staring at me when he's hearing this kind of sound. Speed up a bit. Okay, these ones are the men. If you click on the bubbles for the new enemies, you get like some statistics about the enemies, some description written by Tom. And here you see the special abilities. For example, if the bandit is making it to the castle, he's also stealing 3 to 15 gold pieces. Luckily the bandits are not too strong, but better safe than sorry. I really like water. I think we need to make it a little less blue probably, but I really like the fact that George made it in the water. Like it's satisfactory to look at. Because it's all 2D obviously in Parisian Ruins, and you need to simulate a lot of things. And we are no! Okay. Sorry. I should try to shout less probably when stuff happens. Oh, look who's there. Gavin, you saw now because I have to confess that English is my second language, and therefore I will be making mistakes. And knowing that there are some native speakers, now it feels all of a sudden extremely awkward. I will try to speak like in a much better way. I will think twice about every word that I say. No, I'm obviously lying. Like I will keep on saying the same bullshit over and over, and I hope it's understandable. No, no. Okay. Say again that this map is really easy. I'm not even using the cheat codes. I have a lot of cheat codes that I added during development, but I'm managing not to use them. You would say it's like my 4th or 5th language at least, huh? I know you. Be thankful that I don't have the British flag emoticon here. I told you. I think it's like, supposedly it's the 6th language, but this map is really, really simple. Right? Luckily it's almost over. For me that I've been playing the game billions of times, but at least there is something exploding. Oh, I love it. Ah, yeah, true, you sorta know each other. I think Gavin was infesting your Discord as well. I hope he did behave pretty well, and like, I don't have to be ashamed of having introduced them to Hyperparasite. Okay, and that's the last one. No! Yeah, but it's not the British flag. I know you are confused about where you do come from and to which part of the world your country will belong to, but it's not the British flag, that one, guys. Everything is burned, like, it's okay, I'm not like really looking at what happened in there, but... Did you notice also how classy, like, game aside, is that I managed to add a little E for empires under my face in the picture. It's nice, it's pretty nice, that river shader. It took us forever, like, it's made with Houdini, so basically we are using, I think George made all that part, me I like just like asked what he did. He made a flow map with Houdini in the mesh of the river, in the 3D shape of the river, and then he's using that I don't even understand what's that thing. I think I can unlock, but no, don't distract me, Gavin. And so we use this flow map to animate the shader, basically. It's like, it sounds sci-fi, but it works pretty well. Some of these tips, strategy tips, I cannot tell you yet, because first of all because I don't remember which kind of emoticons we do have, and also I cannot spoil it. No, it's fine, it's acceptable, but I think this conversation system now that is changing a bit less, there is less variation in size, it's probably working better. I have to thank that user, I don't remember, I think it was someone that did try the demo. And a lot of the dialogues can be skipped. I made all the important ones unskippable, and but all the other secondary ones you can more or less skip them when you want. Because I'm sure I love the dialogues. I mean, I think Tom did a majestic work with writing the dialogues, and there is some really nice dry humor. But I'm sure that a lot of people playing strategy games are not that much into reading. So I what we try to do is like we try to make so that you can play also without reading that much. Just like the dialogues that you need to read are the ones that have usually choices that you need to make that decide like the progress of the campaign. So Gavin, Gavin, remember the Raven. I don't make the caw sound because I don't know how it's made in English. Like I would make cow, but it sounds like a cow, so. Okay. Okay, here it's Turg suggesting to go to the research system. We can just go directly to the research system. The research system, this is Megler, Gottfried Megler. I really like this guy. This is like really unfriendly, and I love that he speaks with the Z. Who the hell are you? Every time you read Megler speaking, you need to give it a really strong German accent. Thank you very much. How dare you? I don't care who you might be. Get out of here! You really need to give it like this strong German accent, and because that's how he was meant to speak. But anyway, like this is the research system, and what it's still missing, and it will be missing it until the first big update, is a queue system. So you can pick the research, set it for research, you have a buffer of points, and you have a production per turn. But later on with the queue, you will be able to queue up to 5 of those. And I think it's necessary because especially in the, not in the real beginning and not in the real end, but somewhere in the middle, there are some small technologies that are quite quick to be researched. And we don't want the player to go back thousands of times to the research screen. It's pretty fast, you see the loading, but still it's much better if it doesn't happen. Okay. I don't know why I turn to the next riot is this big. Okay, I'm pretty sure I did introduce some bugs here, but okay, let's. Okay, first of all, we are sending the scouts. Yes. Okay, 1 turn has passed. Brilliant success. So basically, after sending the scouts, you get information about the target province. You get the owner, these ones are the rebels, you get the statistics, these ones are quite important for when you decide to fight, you get the production, and you get if there is some loot. You can distribute first few points. I'm actually quite curious on what happened here. Okay, at least I found a bug. Forgive me a second while I write it down. Okay. This one is Wunstenberg. This one is a really cunty attitude, but he's really useful in the campaign, so it's really... I think it's an interesting character, like, and he has a really a lot of care for his mustache and beard. But okay. Okay, now they should appear the. Okay. Now it should have started. Okay. I am curious, but I cannot test it otherwise, to see if it's me actually, the viewer, viewing myself. Okay. Okay, so the bug is fixed, but so obviously there is something wrong that I did with the last update, but it's an easy fix. So basically what happens is that there is every given amount of turns, there is a riot. A riot in one of the provinces that you're on, doesn't matter which one. And this is the time for that. You see, whenever you achieve the objectives of the chapter, it has a modifier of +1 turn to the next riot, so it's slower, the timer. If your relations with the people, with the folks of the Western Marches are good, you also have a modifier. Right now it's negative, obviously. And also, every time you conquer a new province, according to the difficulty level, you get a modifier. So, for example, now we will try to conquer Feldet. Wait. We need to pass a couple of turns because I would like to finish research first of all. Okay. Okay, we cannot hire. We need a stronger leadership. Okay. Because this one, whenever you have a new officer, okay, officers. This one we cannot hire, so I can close it. But there are some officers. You see, you start a game with 2 of them already hired, and then later on you can hire a lot more, up to like 35 or 40 of them. And let me inspect them from here. It says these ones are the officers. They are procedurally generated using names taken from our beta testers. And okay, there is a lot to say about those, but let's start with this one because it's beautiful. These ones are the battle statistics. These ones are the management statistics. An officer can be either used as a governor or can be taken to battle as a member of the battle board. If you use him as a governor, you need to take care of these statistics. So it's adding 9% to the military, 0% to the social, 0%, 6% to the economy, and the loyalty. The loyalty, it's not always known for an officer. And you see, for example, for this officer, it's not known. We could investigate the officer. We have a success chance of 30%. We can try. While the other one, if you take the officer to battle, you will need to take care of these modifiers. Right now, we take both of them to battle. So we add them to the battle board. The battle board is commanded by Sergeant Hammer. You see, here are the modifiers that we will take to battle thanks to the officer. They don't have any special perk that does us anything special, these two. Okay. Unfortunately, Officer de Casellas found out about our little investigation and didn't like it. His loyalty decreased by an additional 1%. Okay. But we can go to research now. There's a lot of dialogues that we can skip now. I would like to finish at least this research here. Okay, when this sign is appearing, it means that there is a rebellious event in the province. This is a small one. You cannot do anything once they happen, but you can try to prevent them. I will show you later. Meanwhile, I think we lower the taxes, and we start building something. We start building this one that increases authority, and this one that increases food production. Okay, this one we can really nice. We can hire this one, yes, because he has a lower rank, so we can even take him to battle with us. Okay. Let me just let me do some social media management. Here you go. Okay. Okay. Let's go back to this. We can do some scouting around. Okay, not much time left to the next riot either. Okay. No, we cannot hire everybody. What's happening? For pity's sake, turd! No, I cannot do that voice, otherwise I will not speak anymore for like 3 days. This looks incredibly like Joker, but I really like the Baron. But I will hide because I don't want to spoil the old dialogue with the Baron, but it's quite nice. Here we did finish some building. One interesting thing is that you can only give direct building orders when you are in the province. If you are not in the province, if you have a queue, okay, the queue will continue building and that's no problem. But the moment it stops, there will be no more building production at all. And you need to have a governor. Right now we cannot hire a governor because they are all members of the battle board. And once you have a governor, you can give the governor some priorities. A governor with some priorities, according to how loyal he is, he will follow your priorities or do whatever he wants. And that means that it's quite important to take a good look at the loyalty of the soldier. And now we have our riot. Okay, we need to... No, let's fight it because I don't want to risk losing the only province that I have. I could auto-resolve, but the good thing is that now we have a few more towers. Well, a few more, we have like catapults, but it's already something. We can really speed through this map easily, I think, now. Especially with catapults, it should be a lot easier. This one is a really nice position because it cannot be attacked. You don't expect me to talk the whole time, right? Or do you? But I can, because this map is really this is like, okay, this is not the development map. The development map was map 26, that it's included in the demo, and that map I knew everything of that map, like every single detail. This one I know, okay, of course, a lot, because I did the wave design, and then I did the terrain design, and then I was testing and testing and testing, but I didn't watch it for like 3 years in a row as this one. But it's still like being the map 0 is very basic and it's very short. But I think it's quite good as a warm up for new players. Okay, luckily we managed to make it with 3-star. And what I noticed during EGX and RESD, that people really found extremely funny the fact that the subtitle for intermediate game mode is as average as you are. Like, everyone was laughing at this. I didn't think that it was this funny. It was like something that we wrote there in the beginning just as a kind of a old school insulting way of playing intermediate only, and apparently people liked it. Okay, after a riot you can have a small conversation and you can decide if you want to be brutal with the rebels, if you want to hang them, or if you want to ignore them. Let's ignore them, let's be nice. The army of course is not happy, but the population is. There is a lot of these small decisions that you can take that have an influence on the let's call it the ecosystem of the game. And if you look at this, these ones are the relations with the different factions. They are extremely deeply radicated into the whole game. That means that a lot of stuff that you will not see, it's influenced by these relationships. So, for example, the loyalty of officers. Each officer, wait, let me distribute the points. Each officer belongs to a faction. If you have a bad relation with that faction, that officer will be less loyal. Or, for example, the relations with the population that you may not mind about it that much because you think, okay, we are here to tame the rebellion, but they are influencing the riots. So you need to really care for those relations, even though they look just like an additional thing on top. And here we can see the objectives for the chapter. Here we have a summary of the current provinces, our only provinces here. And I think we I cannot talk anymore. Like you can really see that I'm not into streaming. Like, but I mean, we live and learn. Okay. I just want to finish the research for this one. It's a bit slow, but I could easily fight this battle without this additional tower, but I would like to show you how tower upgrades work. Here you go. Okay, now we can attack. I would say we go for Feldet first. Ah, Sergeant Heimer, I've been looking for you. You came to my tent. Who did you expect to find? Sandkar walks in his legs. Sandkar is actually the god of the settings. Okay, here for example, if you have a high enough espionage value in a province, you can have a chance to prevent events. And you can choose which way to do it. If don't do anything, if try to use leadership or to use empathy. Let's try for leadership. Okay, we need anyway to go and fight here. There is also the auto result. The auto result takes into account a lot of stuff. It has a base value based on the map, and then it has a modifier based on the difference between the attacking strength of your province and the defense strength of the other province. It's based on the research unlocks. If Heimer is there, it has a modifier. If Heimer is there means if Heimer is fighting in that province, and then if based on your officers you have an additional modifier. If the province is scouted or not, you have modifiers. Game difficulty as well. But we fight normally this time. This map here is already a little more interesting. I think for someone new to the game, all the maps are pretty interesting because they all have different challenges. It's just for the designer that, like, there is a saying in Italian: every scarafone is bella mamma sua. That means that every ugly cockroach child is beautiful to his mother, and therefore I love these maps. But I cannot see them anymore. Like I saw them so much, but I still like them. Like and now we also have a resource building, but we will not build this yet. No. Oh yeah. Okay. No. No. Damn. See, I keep on pretending of being like super good at it. Then this one is increasing the production of resources. Like resource production is based on +6 every 4 seconds. +6 every 4 seconds. Usually the default value is +5. But for example, this one is probably coming from, I didn't check, but it depends on the province that you are attacking from, what's the production of stone that it has there, and this additional +1 is coming from this little building here. Can I upgrade? Not yet. No. Okay, this was a really bad idea, because like I don't understand why I'm so bad today. Okay, but at least we have a new tower here. We can change the tower setting. Quite vulnerable to fire. We can choose if to lock on target. It has some various modifiers based on the rank. You can take some experience based on the kills. You can choose how to shoot. Aha, someone is digging here. You see the hole starting here. This is a really good chop point, but at the same time, if you only build towers there, you see like some enemies made it through. Like it's much better to have like a backup here or something like that. Can I upgrade it? Of course no, because I'm 1 point of iron. Okay. But then we do upgrade this one, I would say. This is a good safety system to have here. And we should get there. No. Okay, no. Now you see why I am happy that I did build this one here. Yes. when a tower collects some kills, it will go up in ranks. Here it shows the ranks, 29 kills based on the experience. It goes up in rank and it takes a modifier. For example, all the modifiers marked with rank are those like plus damage, plus everything. If the tower gets destroyed, it loses all those modifiers. That's why you always need to pay a bit of attention to your towers, because yeah, of course you can always rebuild also from the ruins, but they will lose a lot. In easy mode, they don't lose experience. Easy mode is a little more merciful. Oh yeah, this is... Okay, this is the last wave. You see, because we have the scout tower, we get like in the area of the scout tower, we get a preview of the upcoming waves. Okay. Can we build something? We should be on a complete safe side. Also, we are extremely full, so we cannot build anything anymore. But we should do with those towers we have. Oh yes. Okay. Oh yes. Yeah, but still, I didn't collect the 3 stars. I have to stop saying that these maps are easy. Don't focus all of your towers on bottlenecks, unless they do cause area damage. That's what I was saying before. Conquer, and once we conquer, the first time it's just a dialogue, and after that there will be a UI. You can choose if you want to pillage the province and get more loot and get a stronger hold on the province, but for a while you cannot use the province, or if you prefer to conquer it peacefully. Usually I do try to conquer them peacefully, but on some provinces it's not bad, like, and especially in the beginning when you don't have that many resources. Now this, I did wait several turns, so I have quite some resources, but in the beginning when you don't have that many resources, getting an additional loot, it's not bad at all. And we revealed a new province now that we have an area bordering with it. And we scout it right away from here. You see, like, you can do the scouting from here, it's 1 turn, or you can do it from there, and the chance is much higher, because there we have a higher espionage value, but it takes longer. It costs also a little more, but let's send it from there. No, we failed in avoiding the event. So they are burning the flag. What we could do now is, basically, the idea is that you really don't have that many soldiers. And the few soldiers that you have to balance them out between combat and taming the population. So this is like the slide that lets you do most of the stuff. You see, if you move to the right, you will increase authority, and the higher the authority, the more you can lower the rebellious activity. But you will lower defense and attack. That means that if you are fighting from this province, you will have smaller modifiers. But we prefer, and I think we need a governor. Take a look at these ones. The only distance one is 14, okay, it's named the board, and it's becoming the first governor of Hammer. Okay, so it's giving them quite a good modifier. This stuff here at the moment we don't really need. Okay. We can move the headquarters here. In the beginning this is like the... oh, this is good. Let me take a note, this one could also be a little bug. Well, okay. At least now we can build. Okay. Food. Happiness. Authority. Usually start with level 0 buildings because they are faster to build. 4 turns. So at least I give it a first boost, and then usually focus on authority. Authority, happiness, and food are usually the ones that you need to rise in the beginning anyway. Discount harm. A new research is ready. Okay. I would go for fast reload. All these technologies, like all these, they give a plus 3% to one statistic of the towers, and of course with progress and better towers, the percentage gives a much better bonus all the time. But already in the beginning, it's quite like sometimes damage, really 1 point of damage makes all the difference. So okay, when there is this blinking green thing, and you get this blinking green thing as well, you actually can upgrade. Yeah, we have a fort. Well, what does it mean when you upgrade? It means that, first of all, we can take a look at the settlement. This is our settlement now. While before it was a small camp, now it grew up to a fort. This is, and most importantly, first of all, the modifiers increase. You see, this one is given by the fort, for example. And second of all, the maximum level of the assets increases as well, and that one is very, very, very nice. But unfortunately, okay, wait. Given that we are here, we can try to give the priorities. Okay, I would give it probably this way. What is it building? Okay, barracks. One moment. It's kind of vague. Let's try on auto resolve. Okay. And you see, this is the same choice that you could make before, but we occupy peacefully. Okay. First of all, let's make sure that we have all the building orders given here. Okay, then do we have a governor now? Then we go here. Okay. Oh yes. Okay, at least now we can build here. Okay, we can build a bit more because the settlement got upgraded. This. And there is a lot of useful things to build, but keep in mind that when you are building, let me show you. Okay, at the moment a lot of because it's finishing something with a lot of. What happens basically on the building queue is that they have a cost, and this cost is deducted per turn from the production of the province. That means that you don't spend anything when you build, but the province will not be producing all the resources. And what it's building right now it's probably only needing additional wood. That means that there is a zero output of wood because all the wood is being actually funneled into the building. But let's, okay, we finish research. This one makes resource production in battle a bit faster. Okay. It's never good when you're losing, when you don't have enough food, because you see happiness is going down, rebellion it will be going up. We need more leadership. Should be enough. I think we should go to battle here, probably. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. There is something very suspicious here. Because plus 25, it's okay here. Let me check. 25, 60, 66. Okay, plus 8 value. But here, it's 10 plus 15. 20. Okay, no, it's correct. Okay, no, it's correct. Okay, I was suspicious, but like for all the wrong reasons. Okay, one more map. still too low on resources because I'm not. No. Steel is always my problem. Iron. Is. Too bad. Okay, I think for now it should be okay. It was because I already wrote down at least 2 bugs that I need to fix. Okay then guys, for first stream it was 1 hour and 4 minutes, a lot more than I thought that I could do, so not bad. We started conquering chapter 1, it takes a while to conquer it, but you see like we have several objectives already scored. Then guys, see you next time, and thanks whoever was watching, and bye!